Hi there, this is Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I have for you a Vinyasa yoga flow. We'll be focusing on connecting our breath to our movement, our body's alignment, and overall just being present for our practice on our mat or in our space today. We're going to start in child's pose. Knees will be wide to start, toes together. Sit your hips back towards your heels and then reach your arms straight out in front. If you're able to at this moment to put your forehead on the floor, please do so. If not, find something to stack underneath your forehead so the back of your neck can release. We'll start to connect with our deep Ujjayi breathing, which is in through the nose and out through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of your throat as you breathe out, making an ocean-like sound. Press through all 10 fingers. Reach out into the front of your space, as long and as strong as your body will allow you at this moment. And let's start to explore what kind of body showed up to yoga today. Every day can be so different. Begin to walk your hands over to the right, if only slightly. Reach your left hand, maybe stack it on top of your right. For our first side body stretch. And then let's reverse it. Left hand comes more to the left, right hand chases it, maybe places it on top. Make sure your right hip didn't lift up, it's still pressing towards your right heel, maybe even touching. Come back through center. One deep breath. Let it go, exhale. And then come up to hands and knees for some cat-cows. Let's focus on our hands first. Maybe roll out your wrists, especially if you spend a lot of time on a keyboard or just on your phone. Rock it side to side. Maybe flip one at a time, whatever feels good. So we can establish a great base for our practice today. Spread all 10 fingers wide. Weight should not just be in your wrists, it's all through your whole entire hand. Knees are gonna line up underneath your hips. Toes are untucked. Inhale brings you up. Eyes gaze towards the ceiling. Tailbone up in the back as well. Big exhale, round everything. Press out of your hands. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale brings you up. Very, very slow to start. Warming up the spine. One more just like this. Come back to neutral, then reach your right leg back. Tuck your toe under and just rock forward and back, getting a stretch through your calf. Hips are still facing the floor. Then find center and lift your foot directly straight up. And your left arm reaches out. So as if someone's pulling your left arm, yanking on your right leg. Reach them apart as far as you can. Then we're going to bring your left arm more to the left, your right foot out to the right, so you're at this angle. Back to center, back to angle, back to center, and set it down. Left foot goes back. Find the rock first. first, find the stretch. And then when you're ready, lift your heel. Lift your right arm this time. Find the length first. Reach as far as you can in front of you. Flex your foot strong. And then move it to the side. Find the angle. You should feel your core engage in different spaces as you move to the side. Back to center. One more to the side. And center, one last stretch. Set it down, set up for your first downward facing dog. I like to turn my hands out ever so slightly to give my shoulders a little more space. My hips go towards the sky. First downward facing dog, the upside down letter V with your body. Do what you need to do in this posture, especially if this is the first time you're here today. Maybe pedal out your feet. I like to shift my hips side to side. And then when you're ready, find stillness and reconnect with your breath. Gaze is back behind you, between your feet, or maybe even up towards your belly button. What you want to avoid here is looking forward and having your neck be full of energy in this pose. Let it hang, shake out your head. Maybe press your hips slightly higher towards the sky. And then in your next inhale, gaze forward. Hop, step, or walk will meet at the top of your mat. Big toes can touch, slight knee bend if you need it. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is nice and long. Eye gaze down. Forward fold. For this first one, we're going to roll up really slow. So deep knee bend, one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to the top of your space. Roll your shoulders down and back. Find a strong mountain pose. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And if it's in your practice today, let's set an intention. My intention I'll share with you today is to be present on my mat, not letting my mind wander of all the to-do lists that I have after this. Let's enjoy this flow. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. For this first one, step ever so slowly back to plank. And this could be plank for you. Modified could be plank for you. Wherever you are, hold still in this position just for a breath. And then I'll ask everyone today to come down to your knees to modify our first chaturanga. Elbows go straight back, just to 90 degrees. Press right back up. Do 2 more like that. Your option from your knees or from your feet. 1 more. Press up, and then lower slowly all the way down onto your mat, and find yourself into your first cobra. Hands back by your rib cage, slight back bend up, and release. Cobra. There's always an option here instead of doing the upward facing dog. And down. Now third one, if you're ready, press all the way up. Thighs are off the mat, shoulders are away from your ears. Here's our upward facing dog. Then press back into downward facing dog. We're going to put that together twice. Inhale forward, plank or modified. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale up, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time on your own with your breath. Take it through a flow. We're going to come back to these a bunch today. Always have the option to skip and just meet a downward facing dog. breath when you return to downward facing dog. Then inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step, or maybe even hop to the top of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you to stand. Hands come through heart center. Remind yourself gently of why you came to your practice today. And then release it. We'll do one more sunny with the breath. Inhale up. Exhale. Swan dive over those legs. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, take it through your flow, whatever that looks like for you today. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find stillness just for a couple breaths. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. We're going to start to pick up the pace, but if you need to come back to this downward facing dog or even a great resting space into your child's pose at any time, it's there for you. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk, step. Maybe hop lightly to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Listen for the change. Chair pose. Sit your hips low. Chest can stay low to start. Reach your hands out in front. Sit your hips a little bit lower. And then reach your arms up. Low in your chair. And slowly, purposely, come to stand. Hands at heart center. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow, or head back to downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Keep the hip closed for this one, so toes facing the ground. Then come up on your left heel, or at left toe, so your heel lifts off the ground, and lower. Up, and down. Last one up, and down. Bring your right knee to the front of your mat, in between your hands, and set up for warrior one. Toes face forward, back heel turns down. Find the legs first. Make sure we're not on a tightrope. Give yourself some space. Hips turn forward as much as they can. Deep bend through this front leg. Then reach your left arm forward, so your shoulders square a little bit more. And then when you're ready, arms come up. Breathe. Wiggle your front toes. Don't grip the yoga mat. Straighten a little bit more through your back leg. Last breath here, maybe gaze up. I like to circle my arms around for a little bit of chest opening. Hands come to the mat. Step back to plank. You can go right back to down dog or take it through your flow. Left leg lifts. Square off the hip, toe towards the floor. Up this time on your right toe and lower your heel. And we lift. And we lower. And we lift. We ground it down. Pull your left knee towards the left side of your chest. Step it through and then set up for our warrior one on this side. Turn your heel down. Come up slow. Hands can be on your hips. Try to square off your hips as much as you can. We'll still be a little bit at an angle for most of us. Deep bend through your front leg. Straight through your back leg. And then reach your right arm forward. Square your shoulders. And then rise them up. Hold and breathe. Last breath, maybe gaze up. Maybe sink a little bit deeper through your front leg. And then circle your hands back down and around. Take it through your flow. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, we meet at the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings us up to our chair. One breath, one movement this time. Sink lower, right to the fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, brings you all the way down. Inhale brings you to whatever back bend you're doing. Exhale brings you downward facing dog. Inhale. As you lift your right leg, come up on your left toe. And then in one motion, step it through and lift it up. Right back down, hands plant, plank and flow. Left leg lifts, up on your right toe. One motion, bring it through, one breath. Inhale up, exhale all the way down, and take it through your Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Short break, 3 deep breaths. Maybe drop to your knees in child's pose. Maybe grab a sip of water. And when we're ready, meet back at the top of the mat. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings us all the way up to stand. Hands come to heart center, come back to your intention. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, flow. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, right leg steps forward this time. Turn your foot down, coming up, warrior two. Real deep bend through your front leg. Straight arms. We're not here long. We're adding on to our flow. Reverse it. Knee still stays bent. We straighten your front leg, reversing the triangle. Arms come up, body comes up. Maybe you scoot your back heel in a little bit and find your triangle. Hand can be slightly on your shin, or for a little bit of challenge, release it. Maybe half bind. Make your side body work. Gaze can go up towards your thumb. Then find your warrior two. Just one breath. Cartwheel it down all the way. Take it through your flow. And back to downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward. Our inhale brings us up all the way to our warrior two. Front toes point forward, back foot's turned in slightly. Arms are long and strong. We hold here. Make sure our shoulders are directly over our hips. Real deep bend through this front leg. Let's reverse it. Very, very light on this back hand. Straighten your leg. And then tilt into a triangle pose. I always need to scoot my back foot in just a little bit. Reach, reach, reach until you can't reach anymore. Flip into triangle. Light front hand. Maybe take the half bind. Find your warrior two. One breath here. Cartwheel and flow. Press it back. Downward facing dog. We'll meet at the top of our mat for our balance series. Inhale. Exhale. Walk, step, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Hands come to heart center. Into our standing postures. Find a space and plant your left foot down first. Going to start in a tree pose. So make sure your toes are spread, foot is pointed forward. Tree can be here with a little kickstand, pulling this hip in so it's not jetting to the side. You can go to your calf. Once again, pull your left hip in, or all the way up for a tree pose. Find where you like your hands. Maybe they come to your hips, maybe they come to your heart, maybe they come all the way up and you grow your tree branches. We hold and breathe. Find something steady to focus on. Press your foot, if it's on your leg, press your foot into your leg into your foot. Just make sure you avoid your knee. You fall out, get right back in. We're only here once each side. If your arms are extended, can you make them strong, long, straight branches? And step out, opposite side. Plant your foot down, spread all 5 toes. Come to the kickstand first so you can adjust this hip. A lot of us send this hip to the side, pull it in, then maybe come up to your calf. Avoid your knee, bring it all the way up. Maybe you need your hand. And find tree on the other side. Hands can start at your hips. Pull this hip in. Hands come to heart center. Or maybe grow your branches. Sending the knee that's lifted out to the side. The leg that's straight, engaging your quad, pulling your kneecap up, and pressing your thigh or your calf into your foot, and your foot into your leg. You got this. Breathe. Release it. Coming down, shake out your legs. Coming into eagle. Right leg plants. Left leg comes up and over. Right arm goes under and cross. You can use this foot once again as a kickstand or wrap it behind you. I'll show you from the side. You can see how high my elbows are going to go. If this hand option is not there for you, you can always grab opposite shoulders. If it is, press your hands together, lift your shoulders, sink your hips, squeezing everything together. For 3, 2, and 1. Release it. And switch sides. Plant your left foot. Right leg wraps over. Find the kickstand first. Left arm comes out, up and under. Find the arms, lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Then maybe try the double wrap. Sink low, press high. If you fall out, come right back in, or maybe just keep the kickstand option. Sink as low as you can in those hips. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeezing your arms together, pressing your hands together. For 3, 2, and 1, release it. Come on down onto your mat. We're going to find ourselves into a bridge pose. Heels are going to be fairly close to your glutes, so you can reach them with your fingertips. You don't want them way out here. You don't want them glued against your glutes, but just far enough so you can reach them with your hands. Toes facing forward, make sure your thighs are parallel. Then we'll just press up, just slowly. And come right back down. Notice where you're pressing up from. Many of us will press up through our toes, press up through your heels instead. Maybe even lift your toes off the mat. And come down. This third one we're going to hold. Lift it as high as you can. Think chin towards your chest, and then take it off your chest, like your chest is chasing your chin away. Feel your thighs being parallel. They're not splaying out to the side. Knees are not touching. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can interlace your hands underneath your body and roll your shoulders under and get a shoulder stretch as well. But don't lose your legs. Think parallel thighs, pressing up through your heels. Can you lift a little bit higher? And release it, come down. Maybe sway your knees side to side like windshield wipers. We're gonna do one more of those. We're gonna get right into it. It'll be a little bit longer of a hold. Press up when you're ready. Take any arm variation you can that you're willing to do at this point of practice. Press your elbows down to lift your hips a little bit more. Fingertips active towards the sky, or interlace and find the shoulder stretch. Can you lift an inch higher? End of practice. This is our last pose of active work. Tiny bit higher for 3, 2, slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. And 1, hug your knees into your chest, rock side to side. And then when you're ready, let your knees drop to the right. Arm can cactus or reach in a T if you have space, to the left. Gaze towards your left arm. Try to keep your left shoulder on the mat. Deep spinal twist. Come back up through center. Scoot your hips if you need a little more space. Then knees go to the left. Gaze goes towards the right. Arm in a cactus or maybe even out into a T. Left hand can help guide your knees to the floor. And breathe. Knees come back up through center. One happy baby to close our practice today. You can reach for your big toes, the outside of your feet. If your feet are not accessible, reach the outside of your calves. Knees go wide, feet are flexed like you're stamping on the ceiling. Maybe it feels good to rock side to side. And then slowly bring yourself into the tiniest ball that you can. Squeeze everything in and then let it all go. Shavasana. Final resting posture. Let your feet splay to the side, arms where they feel comfortable. Maybe rock your head side to side just to find the most comfortable space for it. Let go of the control of your breath and let everything relax. Ready, begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe circle your ankles and your wrists. Arms reach above your head, legs are long, good morning stretch. You can roll it over to one side or rock and roll to a seat. Be seated on your yoga mat, keep your eyes closed if you can. One last inhale together, arms come up and over the top. Hands come down to heart center, back to that intention. One last time. Thumbs come between your eyebrows to your third eye, center of intuition. Thank yourself for doing this practice today, making time for you. making you a better version of yourself so you can be better for everyone else the rest of the day. Namaste. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.